2024 elections, which also former President John Mahama is today facing the vetting committee of the NDC. Let's take you live to the event center at the headquarters of the NDC for more.
Right Honorable former Speaker Dua Jaho. I was asked questions about the party, how to strengthen the party, the electoral process. I was asked about Parliament, how to strengthen our group in Parliament. But most of all, I was asked questions about the country and my views for repairing and also improving governance in Ghana. It was a very serious interview. And I do think that because of the experience I have, the committee myself, been impressed at the delivery that I gave. But the work starts now, and I don't underestimate the honest responsibility I'm taking upon myself. We all know the situation we have in our dear country, Ghana. It needs all of us to step up to the plate and try to rescue this country and put it back on its feet. And so I have offered myself on May 13th, we will go to our primaries, both for presidential and parliamentary. I wish to extend my wishes of good luck to all our parliamentary candidates who are standing, and it is my wish that we will elect very good persons who can win us the majority of seats in Parliament, because we would need a majority in Parliament to be able to execute the agenda that we have when we come into office. It is my hope that my colleagues with whom I am standing for the presidential primaries, we would come together as one after I have emerged as the presidential candidate, that we will rally together in order to ensure that NDC wins the victory in the 2024 elections. We're going to have two main agendas for a new NDC government. Of course, the first one will be taking steps to revitalize our economy and put it back on its feet. And of course, having served under Professor Tamil's and one term under my own leadership, we all saw how we managed to repair our economy, and for the first time in the history of Ghana, in 2016, we financed the government of Ghana budget without a single CD from the Bank of Ghana. Today, this administration currently owes the Bank of Ghana 50 billion cedis. We're going to bring discipline back into our finances. That is the first order of work we have. The second order of work is to repair our governance systems, to guarantee that the media can work freely without harassment from any quarters, to guarantee that corruption will be fought without the president clearing anybody, to guarantee that the anti-corruption institutions will have a free mandate to carry out their duty against anybody, whoever you are, to make sure that CSOs have space to be able to express themselves without fear or favor, to ensure that we review our constitution to make it a more dynamic document to take us into the future. These are some of the issues that will be on our agenda for a new NDC government. And so I want to thank all of you who have accompanied me here today. We've almost finished the process for the primaries. The next step will be the balloting to determine the positions on the ballot paper. And then after that, we'll have the Electoral Commission assist us with the printing of the ballots and all the other preparations for the primaries. And so I wish that we conduct it in an atmosphere of peace, and that after I have won the primaries, we shall all come together as one family and fight the 2024 election. I thank you very much. I thank my campaign convener, my campaign committee convener, and all the members of my campaign committee. It's not been easy. They've been following me around the country, and we're going to all the 275 constituencies, and I'm sure that our visit is exciting the base and making them understand the onerous duty ahead of us for 2024. I thank you very much. God bless you all.
So former President Mahama today faced the vetting committee of the NDC, and he says he wants to be the flag bearer, hopeful, and lead to the NDC to the 2024 elections. He's hopeful of victory if he leads the party. He's been sharing some responses he gave to the vetting committee. Let's take you live back to the NDC headquarters, where my colleague Kukwa Sante is monitoring events for us.
It's bidding in Parliament, especially now that the EC is pushing through this year.
That we have an opportunity to redeem ourselves, and that's what I'm looking up to. I know we still have some bills, we still have some taxes to pass, and I can tell you, some of us will not sit and allow this to happen again. If it means each one of us voting and showing pictures, so be it, because Ghanaians have so much trust in us. But what is happening means that they are getting disappointed, and we do not redeem ourselves. We will not have a party to even go into the elections in 2024.
Thank you very much. That is a member of Parliament for Bolly Bamboy. Excited. You can see a lot of women here that were literally chanting. I'll try and speak to the National Women's Organizer of the party, Dr. Hannah Louise Abisiu, and see. Doc, so you are here to lend your support to the former president, that's all, or you are just here in your capacity as women?
No. I came today because I came to support my candidate, John Dramani Mahama, John Ayebida, the Lion of Bolly, the former assembly member, former member of parliament, former deputy minister, former vice president, former caretaker president, former president of the Republic of Ghana, and the next president of the Republic of Ghana. Where we are today as a nation, it will be a joke to joke with the NDC primaries. It will be a joke. I'm a woman. Recently, we were short of vaccines. I'm a woman. Today, we go to the market and we cannot sell. Our children are dying. Our husbands are dying. Our families, our mothers and fathers, they are dying. The health system has collapsed. And so, why should I play around, beat about the bush, jump around as if I'm a frog that have been dropping hot waters? I know John Mahama is the one who can rescue us. John Mahama has traveled before. He traveled the road. He knows where the potholes are, like drivers. When they go on this bad road under Nanado and Baumia, they know exactly where Nanado's potholes are. They know where to slow down, where to avoid. So why should you take an inexperienced driver? Let me tell you one thing. Every bad road or every road determines the type of car that you use. Smooth roads, smiling Benz can go, Land Cruisers can go, but the very bad roads like Nanado's roads, you need 4x4 times 3. And the 4x4 times 3 is called John Dramani Mahama. He's the one who will rescue us. He's the one who is taking our country, taking our party to the elections. And I say that, look, it's do or die. We are going to work tirelessly. We will not sleep. We will not leave any stone unturned to make sure that President John Dramani Mahama goes back to the Julobi House and turns the name back to Flagstaff House. Because today in Ghana, if we think that we have a president, we are joking. Because the seat of presidency is empty. And so they are just trying to do everything to rob us. But we just want them to know that whether they like it or yes, 2024, December 7th, we are going there for a win. We are not accepting anything less than a win. It's to be a do or die. We shall protect John Mohammed's vote. We shall protect our members of parliament, and if they bring their guns, they should be prepared for us as well.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hannah Louisa Bisiu is the women's organizer, national women's organizer of the party. So it's been a jamboree of a sort here at the NDC national headquarters here in Adabraka, where former President John Dramani Mahama has been vetted by the committee. John Mahama has been talking about.
Well, the visiting Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris, was giving a rousing welcome by President Akufo-Addo and his wife, Rebecca Akufo, also present to welcome her, where some cabinet ministers. Kamala Harris is expected to reiterate her country's support for Ghana to secure an IMF deal. Ghana is seeking a $3 billion bailout from the fund to address shortfalls in the economy, but the deal with the Paris Club stands in the way. President Akufo-Addo has paraded a high-level government official to make Ghana's case in ongoing bilateral talks at the Jubilee House. The two have been deliberating on issues affecting the two countries.
More and more, because more and more American companies are interesting themselves in Ghana, and we want that development to be accentuated and enhanced. And your presence here, hopefully, is going to be a good signal to the American investment community that Ghana is a good place for them to look at and everything. So, you're very welcome. I'm delighted for myself to play host to you here in Ghana. I remember the elegance and very warm manner in which you received me at the White House when I was there 2 years ago. So it's an opportunity for us also to reciprocate and return that hospitality. You've met already all the people here. We don't have to go through that again. So welcome, and I'm hoping that the 3 days that you're here with us are going to be fruitful days and memorable days for you and for us as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, and it is good to see you again. From the first time that we met, 2 years ago at the White House, you and I had extensive and constructive conversations about the importance of the relationship between the United States and Ghana. And I must say that it is of particular importance that we are able to continue to work with you as President of Ghana. You have been very courageous and forward in terms of standing for democratic principles, and we have shared commitments to those ideals. I also am here to discuss a number of issues with you as in furtherance of the conversation we started 2 years ago that relates to our shared interests in the prosperity and security of Ghana and of this continent. So I look forward to that conversation. It will range in terms of the work that we have done and will continue to do on the issue of security in this region in particular of the African continent, but also the work that we will continue to do that is about American investment in the well-being and health and prosperity of this region, understanding the benefit not only to the people of Ghana, but by extension, the people on this continent and the American people. So I thank you for the friendship that you have offered the United States. I bring you greetings from President Joe Biden, and I look forward to the conversation that we are having today and that we will continue to have in the days and years to come. Thank you for that, and for the warm welcome.
Mr. President.
We can go live to the Jubilee House and speak with Elton Broby, our Presidential Affairs correspondent. Elton, what more can you report from today's meeting?
We are all in waiting, but the two leaders just entered into a bilateral discussion. This is the second program before the news conference at the banquet hall. So the two leaders are now engaged on key issues of benefit to both countries. And indeed, we've been told about the agenda at the bilateral table. They are looking at democracy, the rule of law, as well as security and debt. Ghana is already before the IMF seeking a bailout of $3 billion to revive its economy. Now, Ghana has a proposal before the Paris Club. The U.S. has a major influence on the workings of the IMF. And publicly, the U.S. has made it clear that it will support the government of Ghana's quest to secure an IMF bailout. There's, however, an obstacle. The obstacle is that China, which holds a chunk of Ghana's debt with the Paris Club, about $1.7 billion, is required to have some kind of agreement with Ghana before Ghana cannot go to the IMF board and say that we'll be able to restructure our internal debt, which then will pave the way for the IMF board to grant Ghana's approval for debt support. Now we are told that the finance minister is in this meeting and he's going to make a presentation before the two leaders and to tell them the outcome of his engagement with the Chinese authorities last week. And then also President Akufo-Addo, we are told, will make a formal plea with the U.S. government to assist Ghana in getting this IMF deal as early as possible. The U.S., on the other side, is on this table promoting human rights, democracy, and security, especially on the continent. They are looking at Ghana as a beacon of democracy, and for that reason, everything must be done to preserve Ghana's democracy. But on the sub-region, there appears to be some instability because of activities of the jihadists and the other groups that are seeking to destabilize the constitutional order in some, African states within the sub-region already. Burkina Faso, Mali, is all falling to these, groups. For that reason, the U.S. is seeking to ensure that our security is tight, especially on the sub-region, to prevent the jihadists from spreading their hold on some of the African countries. So these are the two issues that is dominating discussions at the bilateral level. This meeting is behind closed doors, and we know that these are the issues that are being discussed. And afterwards, we'll now have them to respond to questions from the media at the banquet hall.
As correspondent, certainly will bring you more from the Jubilee House in our subsequent bulletins. Away from that, 17 people died from two separate accidents on the Kumasi-Accra road and Tema over the weekend. 9 is reported to have died instantly when two Toyota Hiace buses belonging to 2M Express collided head-on at Brimso near the Bunso stretch of the Kumasi-Accra Highway. 19 other passengers sustained various degrees of injuries. Also, 8 persons died while 5 others are in critical condition after a fatal accident on the Kpontama Highway involving a Hyundai mini bus, Kia bus and an articulated truck. Eastern Regional Commander of the Ghana National Fire Service, Assistant Chief Fire Officer Jennifer Yale-Kwei confirms the incident to JoyNews.
Firemen were dispatched to the scene. They got to the scene and realized that the accident involved a MAN diesel truck and a Hyundai 800. During the accident, 6 people died on the spot. This involved 4 females and 2 males. 2 were sent to Akuse Government Hospital in a critical condition who died later on. So in all, we had 8 reported. We say reported, 8 people died. And then there were 5 casualties, that is, others that got injured. That one involved 1 female and 4 males.
These latest incidents occurred after the latest records by the National Road Safety Authority, which indicated that deaths from the accidents plummeted by 15% between January and February 2023. Authorities were optimistic that engagements with relevant stakeholders will further reduce crashes on the road. But with the latest development claiming 17 lives in just one weekend, what needs to be done urgently at a time that Easter is approaching? Listen to Acting Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Engineer David Adonting.
I think this has come at a point where we are all a bit shocked and disturbed. We are worried because the level of engagement between the National Road Safety Authority and stakeholders, including these transport operators, I think it's gone to an extent that we believe that these stakeholders have given up their best. And so at this point where we are entering Easter, in 2 weeks' time, we'll all be seeing Easter, where we are gearing up to go out there, enter the road space to ensure that we all abide by the rules and regulations, and then we have this coming. But this March, the month of March has not been too good for us at all. Remember, There was one at Kintampo there, where we had another 23 persons losing their lives. I think that it's not been too good for us at all, this matter.
Away from road accidents, as the world tries to mitigate climate change, Ghana continues to lose its forest cover to several factors affecting the country's carbon emissions. According to Global Forest Watch, from 2001 to 2021, Ghana lost 1.41 MHA of tree cover, equivalent to a 20% decrease in tree cover since 2000, and 740 MT of CO2 emissions. In Ghana, the top two regions were responsible for 58% of all tree cover loss between 2001 and 2021. Western had the most tree cover loss at 499 KHA compared to an average of 141. So how is this affecting our efforts at mitigating climate change? Awula Sewa is with the Ecosystem Ghana. She's been speaking on the matter.
What I expect to happen is to see a turnaround. So, for example, the first thing I expect is for the government to say that we are no longer going to declassify parts of Achimota Forest, because it's about the last remaining green belt. It's the lungs of Accra. Why would you want to get rid of parts of your lungs? I also want the data to come out about the, green Ghana. There's no point in planting so many trees when, because they haven't been protected from ghosts and things like that, or nurtured, or sometimes they're not even planted. So, and then of course, we need to have a lot of enforcement going on. We know how the tree cover is being lost, the illegal felling, the illegal mining. What are we doing about it? For example, when it comes to the illegal mining, we know what happened, for example, Akonta mining in the Tano Niniri Forest Reserve. What action has been taken against high-profile persons who have engaged in the destruction of our forests? So long as the high-profile persons get away with it, I'm not quite sure that it shows a seriousness in attaining our goals.
As though Health, non-governmental organization Moving Health, has donated 5 tricycle ambulances to 5 communities in the Sisala East municipality to aid emergency services. The tricycle ambulance is also known as the Sisala East tricycles, are tricycles fabricated and redesigned into ambulances using local materials. Chief Executive Officer of Moving Health, Isaac Amwa-Kwanza, notes that apart from the tricycle ambulances working to reduce maternal deaths in the municipality, it will also improve the local economy of the area. JoyNews' Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam has more.
The increasing cases of maternal deaths in the Sisala enclave in time past has been attributed to inadequate emergency services in the area. Residents often struggle to transport seriously sick persons or women who are in labor at outlandish communities to hospitals on time for medical attention, sometimes resulting in their deaths. Country Director for Virtue Foundation, Mohamed Issa Batagale, recounted one of many instances that he has to yield to pleas from stranded family members of women who are in labor to transport them with his car to the Tumu Municipal Hospital.
There was a young lady in labor that had been attended to by a traditional birth attendant, and unfortunately she couldn't deliver. She became weak and couldn't even sit on a normal motorbike. So I was pleased to give her some support to the main hospital. Bringing her to my car, I saw a very weak and frail young lady. The lady accompanying her was actually even saying out of frustration that the mother passed to eternity because of this. And I said that, okay, then why don't we try to get her to the hospital? Out of fear, we sped actually. And upon reaching one community, we ran into a speed ramp and she delivered in my car. Rushing her to the hospital, I took a picture of her and then sent to my bosses back in the state, indicating the plight of the rural woman. In an attempt to give life, most of them lose their lives. What can we do to help? And it is based on that we improvised 2 tricycle ambulances, one station in Bogobale, another one station in Bano. It is based on that we are able to raise some data. Then we felt the need to invite a group that are focused on health emergency transport system.
Worried about the incident, he quickly connected with Moving Health, a non-governmental organization that has a mixture of social health workers and engineers who come together to fabricate affordable emergency transportation for rural areas in the country. Moving Health has been in the Sisala enclave since 2019 and provided the first tricycle ambulances in 2021 to 5 communities on a pilot base. Some concerns were however raised in the usage of the tricycle ambulance by the residents in a feedback and data collected by Moving Health and presented by its development lead, Stephen Majo.
So one thing we know is that delay in accessing emergency healthcare transportation is one of the reasons why we have some mortality cases, and this is one thing that Moving Health is trying to solve, the ease in trying to access emergency transportation. So when we asked people how they felt when they used these motorcycles to get to the health center, some of them, most of them said these were like the top 5 things that people said. They felt uncomfortable when they were on the motorcycle. They felt unsafe. They were worried. They were in pain. They were stressed, and they were tired. And for Moving Health, we want to make sure that the emergency transportation we provide is very comfortable, it's affordable, and it's also accessible to everyone, irrespective of your socioeconomic status. We want you to be able to access this ambulance and for you to get the healthcare that you need when you need it.
At a program to relaunch the tricycle ambulance, otherwise known as the Sisal East Tricycle, Chief Executive Officer of Moving Health, Isaac Amor Kwanzaa, noted that the feedback and data got from the communities are incorporated into the new designs of the new ambulances.
The feedback that we had was about the space in the first ambulance that we made. So this time around, this ambulance is spacious. It's having like a retractable stretcher that you can just remove in and out of the ambulance easily. Then it's having a lot of ventilation and the lighting system. So the lighting system is key, because sometimes when they are on the way transporting a patient, sometimes they have to attend to the patient and they need lights to attend to the patient. So that's why we made those new changes, and we made the body in such a way that it's having a lot of thermal characteristics. Heat does not get in easily, because you know the northern part of Ghana is very hot, and you have to make something which is robust from get-go. It should be that's proof. So if you see this ambulance, the body is very hard body, because we made it in such a way that it will withstand the condition of the northern sector of Ghana.
Apart from the reduction in maternal deaths in the area, employment is also created for the people to lift them from the poverty quagmire they are wallowing in.
We also use this as a way of transferring engineering language. So you can see this ambulances parked behind me. They are not made from people outside the region. They are all made by Sisala people. All the engineers are from Sisala land. And through that way, we're able to empower the locals to solve their own problems that surround them.
Co-founder of Moving Health and one of the lead engineers for the manufacturing of the ambulances, Emily Young, is happy with their association with the project.
We're very, very excited about this design. It's very robust. It can handle the terrain. The interior of the ambulance is spacious. It's very functional. And throughout the entire design, you can see these little components that we've added that are from direct pieces of feedback from various members of the communities. We always, as engineers, want to keep on improving. So the next version of these ambulances we're already working on. We're very excited about what's to come in the future.
Apam Secondary School has emerged winner of the Central Regional 2023 Onga Cook Art Competition. The grade Apas defeated 5 other schools, including Infantiman Girls Senior High School, to retain the title as reigning regional champions. Their victory secures them a slot in the zonal round, which will kickstart in May. Faustina Safo has more.
The battle to book a slot in the 2023 Onga Cook Art National Championship began in the Central Regional Capital, Cape Coast. 6 schools, Infantiman Girls Senior High School, Portin T.I. Amadia Senior High School, Suejo Senior High School, Holy Child, Academy of Christ the King, and defending regional champions Apam Senior High School had to slug it out for an opportunity to represent the Central Region at the zonal round of the competition. Expectations were high.
We are here to win. We are going to maintain our position as the regional champions, and then we'll move to the national, go and compete again, and God willing, God on our side, we will retain the trophy.
The contest began with an oral assessment.
Which of the following coatings is the most suitable for fish cakes? Eggs and flour, egg and breadcrumbs, butter, panda.
Egg and breadcrumbs.
That is correct.
Contestants were then given 1 hour 30 minutes to demonstrate their culinary skills. The judges paid particular attention to the table arrangement, hygiene, and creativity of contestants. At the end of the contest, Apam Senior High School retained its title as the reigning regional champion with a 79% scoreline.
Apam Secondary School emerged the winner for regional hunger competition.
We came with vim and we came to defend the title. So definitely we were sure of this, and it's group work that helped us.
Infantiman Girls Senior High School followed closely with 75.5%. And new entrants Potintia Ahmadiyya Senior High School came third with 73%. Applauding participants, from Master Ghana's Assistant Marketing Communications Director for the Central and Western Region, Obaya Opoku, hinted of thrilling surprises for the national champions.
As a brand, we want to also give back to the society to support our young ladies and young men in the vocational sector. And we have this healthy competition for the senior high schools because we believe that these young ladies and young men are the next generation who will be cooking for us in our various homes, become the mothers, the fathers, the aunties who will be cooking for us in their various homes. And we thought it's wise that this is the best place to engage them. As the saying goes, catch them young. So a lot of things are going to be very exciting as compared to last year.
Each participant receives souvenirs from lead sponsor Onga, while Apam Senior High School sails through to the zonal level of the competition. Who becomes the Western Regional champions? We'll have to wait and see. Faustina Safo for JoyNews.
And the woodwork for the roofing stage of the classroom project is 80% complete. Thank you so much. I mean, we're saying that to donors, and we cherish our viewers who found it worthy to contribute immensely towards the completion of the safe learning environment for school children at the Breman DA Basic School and a rehabilitation of another 3 classroom blocks at Tolong. Some 7 school children are expected to benefit. 700 school children are expected to benefit from the 2 facilities when completed. Currently at the Breman site, the team has been able to make a tremendous progress, particularly at the roofing level after work stalled almost 3 months for lack of support. Outstanding works, including securing roofing sheets to roof the structure, fixing doors and windows, electrical works, and landscaping, are still yet to be done at the Breman site. Site engineer Samuel Agbenyaga, who is supporting the project with Hydra from Technology, joins us live with more. Many thanks for your time, sir. Quickly take us through what is required for the next phase of the project.
Currently, we are, like you said, 80% done with the roof work. That is the roof members. And then, as you can see from my back, you can see the structure itself. And then from here, we need to do the polishing of the structure. We need to do the ceiling joints, and then get the ceiling fixed, get the door fixed, the dressing. So we need certain amount of cement, not less than 60% of 60 bags of cement. We need some strip of sand, to get all these things done so that we can hand over immediately to the school.
So if we have all materials on site, I mean, what's your estimation? When will this project complete?
Madam, at the moment, we having issues with weather situations. So I can tell you that we can finish in maybe 4 weeks, but due to consistent rainfall and wind storms here, we cannot say that we can finish within 4 weeks or maybe 6 weeks. Anything can happen. So I wouldn't want to commit any timelines, but I'm sure that between 6 to 8 weeks, we should be able to complete the structure.
But
that is, if only we get all the needed materials intact.
I want to believe that you're excited at the level of work done.
Yes, I am, because it's my desire to get this structure done with. Because just last week, whilst I was on site, it started raining, the students closed, and then the Form 1 classroom, that is the existing weak structure, the Form 1 classroom, the roof was ripped off. So you see, you can imagine if these kids were still in school at that time. I was just in the corridors. I was afraid for my own life because that's the only place I could take shelter when it's raining. And this structure needs to be taken care of so that we can move this kids back into the new one as soon as possible. So I'm excited, but I'm also a bit worried, and I'm always scared whenever it starts raining. So we plead that those that are willing to help us to come to our aid faster so that we can save these young lives.
Kofi, thank you so much. And we at the Multimedia Group are also excited about the level of work done so far. I want to say thank you to all donors so far, including DBS, GAPOA, Forestry Commission, Israeli Embassy, Planned City Extension Project, and our partners at Star Ghana Foundation. God bless you for the good work. Let's take a break on Joy News today. When we return, we'll bring you business.
Warm welcome to the business segment on Joy News today with me, Pius Kojobaka. And there is a need for us to begin the business segment from the Bank of Ghana because they have increased the policy rate by 150 basis points. That is from 28% to 29.5%. We shall certainly bring you latest update on that in our subsequent bulletins, especially on the marketplace. But just so you know, the Minerals Income Investment Fund and the Ghana Stock Exchange have begun steps to get gold-backed assets listed on the local bears. There is more for you in this report.
The move by the Ghana Stock Exchange and the Minerals Income and Investment Fund will establish a practical framework for the development of stronger business relations between the two parties. Since its establishment, the Ghana Stock Exchange has only one gold-backed equity trading, despite the country being the leading producer of gold in Africa. Speaking at a short ceremony to sign an MOU, CEO of the Minerals Income and Investment Fund, Edward Nanaya Kranting, told journalists that Ghana will be emulating other best practices in developing key sectors with funds from gold.
We want to be able to get them listed on the alternative exchange and help them even develop onto the main exchange. One reference point I usually make is Perth and Toronto. You look at Perth, you look at Toronto, these cities have been developed on the back of the mining sector. You look at Toronto, 1,500 out of the 3,400 listed companies are mining companies, and that's a $4.3 trillion market cap for that stock exchange. I mean, it's simple. Why can't we create the same here?
Managing Director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Abnamwa, described the partnership as timely.
You know, there are certain things that requires policy to take the lead. And that's why we're very excited when the Minerals Commission in 2020-2021 launched the localization policy for the mining sector. Under that policy, mining companies of a certain size are required to list at least 20% of their shares on the stock exchange. And so this is an opportune time for us. It's in implementing this, and of course now there's MIF as well, with a very focused agenda to ensure that Ghana's mineral resources are developed in a manner that inures more to our benefit as well, equally to the benefit of Ghanaians. And that is why these stars are aligned.
The Ghana Stock Exchange, among other things, will make available its platforms for companies working with the Minerals Income and Investment Fund to access capital from any of the Ghana Stock Exchange markets.
The Ghana Enterprise Agency has launched a business integrity project to support SMEs to incorporate anti-corruption, compliance, regulatory and integrity activities into their operations. Anita Sewa Ajuga has more.
The 6-month pilot project is in partnership with the Alliance for Integrity and the Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, Germany. The aim is to strengthen the compliance capacities of SMEs and the supply chain. 80 SMEs from the Greater Accra and Ashanti region will benefit from the Pepper project. The CEO of GEA, Kosiyanki Aye, says the project will be extended to other regions.
The whole idea behind it is to support women SMEs across the nation, piloting in 2 regions, Greater Accra and Ashanti region. And this time we decided to come to the Ashanti region as well to launch it, to give the opportunity for women entrepreneurs and CEOs to hear about the benefit of this program. And this program really seeks to bring sanity and direction into the businesses of a lot of these women entrepreneurs so that it reduces the level of corruption and increases integrity for the work they do, so they can access more markets, so they can grow their businesses and even access better funding.
Business owners, especially women, have been advised to make smart choices by taking full advantage of the new digital wind.
So this month is International Women's Month. The International Women's Day is past, and during that time the theme really focused on digital for women and the reason for it and the inclusiveness and sustainability of using digital tools. Why is that so important? It reduces the issues of corruption, it allows for transparency and allows more women to take advantage of programs. It also sets women up to increase their revenue. Globally, they realized through a UN research that more women are losing revenue because they are not taking advantage of digitalization and because of the gender gap, really, when it comes to digitization. And so how do we, through the work, bridge this gap so we can increase the revenues of these business women and entrepreneurs so they can grow?
For JoyNews, Anita Sewa Ajuga reporting.
And I'm Pius Kojobaka with the business segment on JoyNews today. Darryl Kwa will be here at 1 p.m. with the market, please.